Hello, friends. Happy Friday. How is everyone doing tonight? I hope your weekend is off to a great start and you're enjoying this cool, rainy Friday evening as much as I am. It's a damp one here, but hey, what the heck. Good to be here. Good to be in my nice, warm basement talking to my nice, warm friends. I have here, as is tradition, the Matches Memorial Friday Savinelli, and I am enjoying some Haunted Bookshop, as is also the tradition. And let's see who we have assembled so far. I've seen quite a few names popping up, and I'm going to have to scroll back up lest I forget. So earlier on, we had White Ash, Piper Squared, and good old Mushroom Leg. Gary Edminster, great to see you tonight, Gary. And there's Alex Saunders Jr. Gary is smoking some Peterson Captain Pete with vanilla custard and black coffee. That sounds very nice there, Gary. And Alec has got early morning pipe and a Missouri Meerschaum. Good stuff. There is Flint Hill Briar heading out to his campsite. Drive safely, buddy. Big Dave, great to see you, Dave. Jeffrey Feinberg, howdy to you, sir. Bona Piper, happy Friday indeed. And there's Rich B1 having a bright and sunny day in rural East Texas. Good to see you, Rich. And Chris Weber. Hey. Good to see you, Chris. IOA. Signalman Tony from Rhode Island. Great to see you, Tony. And look what I got tonight. Yeah. Good to see you, buddy. There's Lord Hogarth. Kringle Flake in his 7LE 320. Nice. 70 degrees in Jacksonville, says Alec. Wow. Pondering with Pepe's Pipes. Hey, buddy, how you doing? It has been a while. Good to see you, my friend. And there's Backcountry Pipe. How's it going, Mark? Gordy's terribly rainy in Northeast Ohio. Yeah, it's that time of year. April showers and May flowers and whatnot. And there's Michael Case, 70 and sunny. Oh, man. Good for you, Michael. Pirate Cake in a Peterson non-system P-lip. Very nice. There's Chris Kahn. Cliff Hagens. Hey, Cliff, how's it going? Good to see you tonight. Really enjoyed those videos, Cliff. I'm only partway through, but let me know if I can talk about them, buddy. Neil Day, howdy to you, sir. Big Dave says 86 Fahrenheit and sunny and breezy in Tucson. It's about time you got some better weather than we have, Big Dave. And there's Ronnie Ewan. Oh, Ronnie, thank you so much. Wife is doing well. I'll talk about that briefly. Battery's about to die. Oh no, working on the bug. Okay, well we'll catch up, Ronnie. You have a great night and enjoy your Friday, my friend. And thanks for checking in. I do appreciate it. All is fine here, Pepe. All is fine. Tim Fournier, good morning to you, sir. How's that tropical island looking today? Mushroom Legs got some Rougarou and a Dunhill Bulldog. Very nice. And there's Mark in Rhode Island, watching the Medusa Touch for the third time. Oh man, it's a fantastic movie. It really is, Mark. I'm so glad you enjoyed that. Yeah, it's a. If you guys haven't seen the Medusa Touch, I talked about it last Sunday. There's a link to a YouTube channel where you can watch it. Richard Burton, just an incredible movie. Just go watch it. The Urban Hermit, hello. Everett's got Haunted Bookshop in his 7LE Alligator 673 that he just got in the mail today. 13673. Oh, that poor pipe. It has no idea what's in store for it this week. Cliff, you got reason to be proud, buddy. I will tell the folks about that. Cliff sent me a video, actually a couple of videos this morning, and if you want to check them out, they're on his Cliff Higgins channel. His son is graduating with a bachelor's degree in music and is it worship? Cliff, correct me if I get that wrong, but he gave his senior recital, piano recital, and boy, what a talented young man Cliff's son Nathan is. Incredible playing and completely from memory. No music. It was just amazing. He did a full, I don't know, there were 7-8 pieces that he played, and no sheet music. Just played amazing. So if it's okay, Cliff, I'll try to put a link tonight in the description here if folks want to go and see the latest Bachelor of Arts, Nathan Higgins playing the piano, because it was really some beautiful stuff. Tim Fournier's got some Red Pill Flake in his 2022 St. Pat's Day Billiard. Nice stuff, Tim. And there's Couch after another crappy day at work. Hey, at least it's over, right, Couch? Yes, pray for that poor 673 that Everett's got. Backcountry Pipes, wet and windy in Nova Scotia. Friday 7LE, some Paretti B94. Very nice, Mark. Very nice. Mark had a great video. Was it last week, Mark? You had that video about Three Rivers Pipe? Is it Three Rivers or Three Rivers Pipe? I can't remember. But Fishing Three Rivers looks like a really great book. It's one I've been meaning to get since I first saw him talk about it, and Mark did a little overview of it, and it sounds like it is a fantastic book. So it's I don't do much reading during the spring and summer, but it's going to be on my list for sure. There's Ron Hardcrackers. Hello to you, sir. Raining and blowing it up in the Great White North there, wherever it's living. Ah, Tim, well, somebody's got to do it, right? Ah, Couch still has to work an hour. Well, Couch, just a crappy hour. It'll be over soon. Ah, Alex is doing what I did the last couple weeks. He's flying solo. It's got its good parts and its bad parts, doesn't it, Alec? I was quite happy to see the missus come home. She got home on Tuesday. Bona Piper's got some early golden sliced in Friday Savinelli during the last few days. Yes, tying the knot in 15 days. My goodness. And then off to Italy. That is amazing, Christian. I'm so happy for you. How long are you going to be in Italy, buddy? Indiana Piper, 36. Smoking the Friday Savinelli 320 KS Maranglacia, rusticated with some Dunhill 965 from 2015-ish. Very nice. Those 320s are nice pipes. Pipe Smoker 795. Has been a while. Great to see you and glad you could make it. You know, Lord Hogarth, I knew a guy that he really wanted to get into that business, the porta potty emptying, and also the what do they call them? The cisterns that people have. Tanks, septic tanks. There we go. His argument was that it's a business that is always going to be in demand, and that was his dream, was to buy one of those trucks and to be able to pump those things out. So I've lost track of him. Actually, he left my company. He probably went off to buy a truck. You've been a good man there, Alec, sticking to the garage. And probably a smart man as well. Everett, I would guess it'll be about 15, 20 minutes. Shepherd of the Forest, how you doing there? Do I like Prince Albert? Yeah, Prince Albert is good stuff. I definitely like some Prince Albert. It's not my favorite of the over-the-counter blends, but it's a good one. 23 days, nice, Christian. That's going to be a great time. All the best for happiness and a really wonderful time. Yeah, Tim, I heard Dolly and Kenny say that once. I didn't know it was all you island folks said that, but there's Cypress Piper. Good evening to you, sir. Well, Everett, that's actually a bit of a blessing. You've got 4 pipes that you're breaking in, so that means that each of those pipes will only get a quarter of the abuse. Creator of the boundless universe wants to know if anyone has ever had London Burley. I have had London Burley. It's been a while. Good stuff if I recall. Mushroom Leg says he loves Prince Albert more than Carter Hall, but not as much as Velvet. Maybe. Yeah. I think Sir Walter is actually my favorite over the counter anymore. Carter Hall's a close second for me. But something about the Sir Walter, not the aromatic, the straight Sir Walter, that just kind of put it above everything. Nice, clean flavor. John Amadon, thinking of getting a Savinelli Bing's favorite. Any thoughts out there? Be careful when you take it apart. They're great pipes, but they're really easy to crack the shank on them. There you go, Couch checking in as another Prince Albert fan. That's right, Tim. I had forgotten about that was written by Barry Gibb. That is absolutely right. First time in Italy for Bona Piper. A beautiful country. Christian, you're gonna love it. And yes, let's let's hope that it's the last indeed. Oh, Everett, that's not good. Uh, I'm glad your dad's doing okay, but infection in his legs, that's a problem. Hopefully it's not too serious, and we'll certainly keep your dad in our prayers. Smooth Piper, good evening. They're all good. I don't, the only one I cannot smoke, and I don't, no offense, I know Peter's going to get mad at me for saying this, but I can't smoke Granger. If there's something about that blend, it just burns too hot, and I can't smoke it. I like the flavor, it just burns too hot for me. But all the other over-the-counters, I think, are quite fine. I haven't had the new version of Sir Walter. I'm sorry to hear that it's vinegary. That's a shame. So the Smooth Piper's got Haunted Bookshop in his Friday Savinelli. Doug Owen, good evening to you, sir. And there's White Ash Piper Squared checking back in. We saw you earlier, buddy. Understand skies in the Pacific Northwest. Neil Days, a half and half lover. 5 tins of London Burley. Palm, hubba bubba there, buddy. Ah, good. Ever can't do Granger either. I feel like I'm in good company then. Ah, yes, Mark. You're one of the guys that I had to do a Bing repair for. There's quite a few of you out there, so no shame in breaking them. They're easy to break. Oh, Tim, I'm not going to say that because I'm guessing that's getting people flagged these days. Ruben Steinway, good to see you tonight. Couch loves Twitter. Don't you mean X there, Couch? Ethan Suggs stocked up on the old OTC when they found out they were about to change. Oh, you're a smart man. No problems, White Ash. I just want to let you know I saw you earlier. Oh, Alec, you're going to get 100 different answers for that one. Relatively new to the hobby, has several cobs and basket briars. He wants to know if he should get a Bones pipe or spend the extra money and get a Savinelli. Yeah. You know, if you like it, if you're enjoying the hobby and everything, I'd say go with the Savinelli just because they're, fantastic pipes and they're great. Might have other suggestions for you as well. Pipe Smoker 795's got CAO Moondance in his new Peterson spigot. Beautiful acrylic stem similar to the Roma Lucite stems from Savinelli. Nice. That stem material is very unique and not easy to find. I had somebody that wanted me to make them a stem like that, and I had a heck of a time trying to source it and actually gave up. So let's see, Palm is voting for Vaughn pipes. Very good pipes, good value in those for sure. Christian makes a great point. Savinellis are easy to sell if you don't like them, so that's a bonus. And Tim is pointing out that reconditioned pipes are always a great option, and that's a great point, Tim. And there's plenty of places now that are doing great jobs reconditioning them and selling them at pretty reasonable prices. Big Country Briar, still outside trimming bushes, shrubs, trees, but it's almost too dark. Yeah, get yourself a pipe. Get a pipe and a cigar. Live a little, Big Country. I haven't started my drinking yet, speaking of living a little. And we're going to be having the last of the Blackwater creme brulees. If I can find an opener. There we go. And we're drinking this because I want to get rid of it. It's not bad. It's a very nice beer. A little sweet. But as I said the last time I had this, the people that made this have never had creme brulee. But again, nothing wrong with it, just not, it's actually Southern Tier Brewing Company. It's one of their, it's a Blackwater Imperial Stout. And you can see why it's called Blackwater. So, cheers. To me, it tastes much more like a chocolate cherry stout, which I'm not a terrible fan of. You know, Mark, there's quite a few people that have said that, and I'm not trying to brag about it or anything, but apparently the little bit of tuning that I do on the 7Ls really does help them. And I still haven't decided whether or not I want to do that for people as a service. But you know, that sort of factory pipe tune-up thing. It's not a lot of work. It's just funneling the airway and making sure that the junction between the shank and the stem is properly formed and funneled. You know, Tim, I would credit you with putting that earwig in, but I've been singing Old Blackwater since I said it myself, so I put that one in myself. Alex got half sweet, half unsweetened tea. Very nice. Pondering with Pepe's Pipes. I'm not sure I've had a Sam Smith oatmeal stout, but I'm guessing this is not like it because it's definitely got a very cherry chocolate flavor to it, to my palate. I know that sounds weird, but I don't know. They were going for caramel, I assume, but it tastes cherry to me. Hope I don't find a China Grove beer too, Tim. So I did want to give you an update before I forget. If you saw my video on Sunday, I talked about the fact that my wife had to go for some medical testing yesterday, and quite a few of you got in touch with me and have been offering prayers and things like that, and it really was appreciated. It was worrisome, you know. It was one of these things where we knew it was probably nothing, and it was nothing. But you have to follow up on it, and we did. She did. I keep saying we as if I did anything other than sit there. Um, and it, you know, praise God, it was nothing benign. Everything is fine. But it was a little scary last week, and knowing that some of you guys were out there praying and thinking really helped a lot. So thank you all for that. She wanted me to thank everyone as well. We greatly appreciate it. Oh, Ronnie says enough is enough on the bug. Labatt and a pipe. Good way to end a day on the bug. I do like some of the Paretti tobaccos, Reuben Steinway. Haven't tried all of them, but some of them I enjoy quite a bit. Yeah, you don't want to mess, if you're a pipe, you don't want to mess around with Everett. Cypress Piper's got some ginger beer. That's always good. Thanks, Christian. Yeah, it was quite a relief. Rick Allen asks, "Do you smoke many filtered pipes?" If you're asking me, Rick, I don't smoke any filtered pipes. I mean, this is technically a filtered pipe, but I've got a converter in it. Thank God indeed, Godry Jim. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Ethan and John and Peter and Cliff and Big Dave. Thank you all. Cuban mixture is fantastic, Couch. And actually, I got a tin of Cuban mixture in the drawer behind me, and I'm thinking that might be my second smoke tonight, since it was mentioned. Ah, Tim. You went a long way to kind of loop that Chicago one in there. I like it when doctors ask me that, though. I just say, no, absolutely not. Larkin, Rhode Island, Johnny Red chasing with a Yingling along with Shandy Gaff. Shandy Gaff is good stuff. Crown Royal and Oriental number 40 are great. Paretti English Orientals are delicious. I really liked the Paretti, oh, what the heck was it called now? They had a Virginia flake that was it was red wine treated. And it was actually a McClellan product, so when McClellan went under, they stopped selling it. Urban Hermit wants, you want to abuse one of my billiards, Everett? Thank you, Rich. Yeah, slight difference in fingering there, Cole. Thank you. It's a good uncle, White Ash. Ruben Steinway's in the know with the Paretti secret ingredients, huh? Did they yell at you, Backcountry Pies? Paretti is a great shop, but they have sort of a reputation for being a little brusque with the customers. Maybe just a Boston thing, I don't know. But yeah, I went in there and was kind of yelled at a little. It was fine. You did sucker me in, Tim. You did indeed. Scottish Flake, that's what it was called, Bonapiper. Yes, really good stuff. I used to joke that McClellan ran out of vinegar and they had to use red wine vinegar on that one, but I did really enjoy that. I'm not a big fan of McClellan products, but that one was something special. Pepe's drinking Voodoo Ranger. Nice. 2020 Peterson packed with a Scudo. Very nice. Yeah, John liked some of the Paretti Burleys. I'm not too much of a fan of their straight Burley blends, but Cuban Mixture is a good one. What's the other one? Oh, I like their Thanksgiving blend. All right, Cliff. Well, good luck with the baseball lessons there. Congratulations again to Nathan, and you have a good night, buddy. Oh yeah, when is the Derby, Tim? Ah, so you know what to expect. Okay, Mark. Yeah, oh, they're great guys, Ruben Steinway. I'm not in any way trying to put them down. It's just a cultural difference there that always shocks me. Yeah, they're not big on small talk. Yeah, we all miss some Pipe Smoker 795. Absolutely. Big Dave, the tobacco I grew is a big albatross around my neck. I have it. It's in a bag. I got to do something with it, and I haven't done anything with it. That's pretty much the sum total of all of it. Ahmed Salman, technical question. How do you manage to smoke the bowl all the way to the end without causing burns and cracks on the bottom, especially when it's new? Ahmed, the answer to that, strangely enough, is that you just have to smoke it all the way to the bottom, especially when it's new. If you do that, you are gonna burn a little bit of the briar. That's gonna happen, but you're also gonna start to build cake, and the more you do that, the safer it is to do it. So those first couple of smokes, you want to be careful. And something I sometimes remember to do is the first couple of smokes, after you're done, mix the ash up, put your hand over, and give it a couple of shakes just to distribute that ash, and then knock it out and just leave it at that. And that also helps to build the cake. Other than that, it's just a matter of smoking it, in my opinion. You know, Lord Hogarth, there is something admirable about that. And I don't want to say that they were downright rude. They weren't. They just wanted you in and out. But they weren't rude. So since Everett brought it up, you want to see my new pipe? The one I just finished? Boswell's got a couple of nice burley blends as well there, Rich. WKR Piper in Cincinnati, of course. How you doing, Odie? You smell burley. Hello, Everett. So it's just a matter of being from Boston, huh, Couch? Okay. Okay, a couple people. I was going to show you the pipe anyway, but I like to be asked. You know how it is. Uh, I will show you the pipe. Yeah, you can do bowl coatings if you want, Ron. I've never found them to be necessary, but some folks do like to put some honey, or some people use sour cream and some uh, carbon powder, things like that. Stonehaven is a perfectly nice blend, mushroom leg, but I don't go crazy looking for it. If it falls in my lap, I'll smoke it. Yeah, I know, Doug. I know it's kind of stupid for me to ask, isn't it? All right, this one is not my favorite so far. It's got some problems, but not a billiard. This is from a block of briar, so I'm not making the pre-phrased stummels right now. I'm sticking with the blocks, and that is what we got. What I don't like about this is I made a mistake. Well, you know what? I'm not going to tell you what the mistake is. I'm just going to show it off. But there you have it. It's a passable pipe. What's interesting to me about this is I tried a new method. I've been working on the contrast stain, trying to get that to pop out more. So this is a chemical stain, and I'd use the same method that I used on this guy here. And you've seen this one already. And you see how much darker that is? The only difference is that this one, well, there's two differences. This one has a top yellow stain on it, so it's a little bit, this is just natural briar with the contrast. But this one actually soaked it in the chemical for 30 minutes, whereas that one I just applied it in repeated coats. I was expecting this to be much darker, and it actually doesn't seem to have, if anything, it seems to be less dark. So crazy. Um, oh, well, thank you, folks. I'm glad you like it. Honey treatment can be a bit problematic if you get it on too thick. Cake will form and fall away. That's a good point, Doug. Yeah, you do need to hit that happy medium of getting enough in there, and that's why I say if you do the ash shaking thing, I really don't think it's the that sounded bad. The shaking of the ash, that's not much better, is it? If you do that thing I showed you where you put your hand over it and shake the pipe, it's going to be okay. So. Great. Well, thanks. I'm glad folks are enjoying that one. The problem with it isn't really a big one. It's just in proportions. So I've been trying to focus on that bowl shape. And in doing so, I really haven't been paying a lot of attention to like how long the shank is versus how tall the bowl is and things like that. So that's the next step. So that's number 4, right? Yeah, that's number 4. So as we move forward, we're going to start really zeroing in on the proportions and all that. Yeah, shake that ash. Indeed, Cypress. Oh, Cole, you had a great experience at Paretti's. All shook up. Was Elvis a pipe smoker? I don't know. Cliff is going, he would know. Isn't that interesting that most folks think straight billiards are considered to be the most difficult shape? Mark, what is that? Mark, for some reason, put up 2 pictures of horses kicking. I'm not down with all the emojis. Peterson flames the pipe as it stains to dry between stain coats. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people do that. Chris Webber likes the yellow top coat. Yeah, I like that too. I just wish the black was blacker. We'll get it though. Ethan Suggs also shakes his ash, so good man, Ethan. Old Yellow Stain, yes. Was a great role for Bogart indeed, Doug. Patrick Grant, good to see you, Patrick. Creator of the Boundless Universe has gotten some London Burley as well. Chris Webber says, didn't I hear that Elvis had a guy who would buy for him from the country squire? I don't know, Chris, but I guess on the one hand, I wouldn't be surprised, but also that sounds like something that somebody made up as a joke. I don't know. The country squire has been around long enough, I suppose. The right part of the world, so why not? Chris Cote, hello to you, sir, signing in from Michigan. Good to see you. Hope I'm doing your name right there. Cote or Cote? Probably Cote. Paragon Piper, smoking some of that small batch 4th generation Raja and Loki. Nice stuff, and with age it will be great. Very nice. Let's see. Oh, I get it, Mark. Okay. They're donkeys, gotcha. I can barely see them, so it's funny. Paragon Piper says Elvis did smoke a pipe. I thought I kind of remembered that, but I wasn't sure. A Burley Brothers t-shirt. You know, I'd buy a Burley Brothers t-shirt, Cypress Piper. I would like that. Peanut butter, bananas, and bologna. Got 'em, White Ash. Indeed. Cote? Is that right, Chris? Well, I'll do my best. Yeah, I was saying that to someone recently, WKR Piper, that there's probably a lot of celebrities out there that do smoke pipes that we just don't know about because of the stigma against it these days, and that's kind of unfortunate. Oh, Tim, I watched The Shining ages ago. Yeah, I actually did a video about it. It was it was good. I enjoyed it. It was not as scary as I thought it was going to be. Not saying it wasn't a frightening movie, but it was much easier for me to watch than I was expecting. Tarantino smokes a pipe? Are you sure it's a tobacco pipe, Paragon Piper? Definitely disturbing, Tim. Yeah. I honestly was expecting more and like jump scares and things like that, and it was really interesting movie though. I greatly enjoyed it. Like a gourd calabash. Well, that's fitting. Ah, cool backcountry pipe. Yeah, hope you enjoy that. WKR Piper. Arnold does smoke stogies, but he has been known to smoke a pipe. In fact, there was a fairly well-known artisan pipe maker that made a special pipe for him. I can't remember the story. If our buddy Phil was here, he'd probably know it. Holmes asking, "What's the big deal with boxwood? Is there a boxwood tree?" Boxwood is a very dense, stable wood. I think it actually comes from a shrub. I'm not sure about that, but it's been used a lot in tool making, like tool handles and things like that. Uh, and I think it's used on pipes for accent pieces, mostly because it tends to be very light colored and not have a lot of grain to it, so it just makes a nice contrast to the briar and the darker stems. It is a shrub, says Pipe Smoker 795. I think box elder is a tree, Gary. I think. Ochoita, hello to you, sir. Good to see you. Ah, Cole just trimmed a bunch of boxwoods. There you go. Ah, Arnold has a huge pipe collection, says Michael Case. Well, that's good to know. Little Piper Todd, hello, sir. Good to see you tonight. So should we see if we can get Arnold on for a chat some night? I'm sure that'll work out just fine. Yes, Chris, I do have At least one cherry wood. It's a rough cherry wood. Tim says we should let Arnold recover from his heart surgery. Okay, we'll be nice to him. Tom Selleck smokes a pipe. Really? Well, heck, Paragon, he would probably come on, right? Crafty Piping, howdy to you. Match Mixture 965 from Jess Piping. Very nice. I get the chopper. Yeah, Gordy, I'm sure he's watching right now. Yeah, Tom Selleck can tell us about reverse mortgages, Rich. Cole, I'm not going to touch that with your 10-foot pole. James Whitmore. Very interesting, Doug. It's not his first rodeo. I saw somebody with a t-shirt once that said it's not my first rodeo, but one rodeo seems like an unreasonably small number of rodeos. Yeah, it's funny, Crafty Piping. If I grew a mustache like that, everybody would think it was disgusting. But Tom Selleck does it, and these people, they swoon over him. I don't know. Alex Saunders wants to know if there's any three-star blue fans here. I know Eric Blue Collar Pipe Smoker was a fan of that. I'm sure others are. I know Bonapiper really likes it. Am I remembering that right, Christian? Yeah, Everett says it's not for him. Actually, Christian hated it. I'm teasing him about that. Mushroom Link wants to pay me to grow a mustache? No. I don't even know if I can grow one, to be honest. There was a time when I could, but the hair doesn't grow like it used to. So I have finished up the haunted bookshop here, and we have to make a decision on what we're going to smoke next. It's not the tobacco of the week, though. We're doing the tobacco of the month now. First Friday of every month, we're going to pick a tobacco. That's the new way we're doing it. So I'm just going to randomly pick things, and it might be haunted bookshop, it might be something else. And since we talked about Cuban mixture, if you'll excuse me for a moment. I gotta move around like 500 jars of tobacco. There's not 500, but there's probably 30, 40. I can get out my big tub-o Cuban mixture here. I have a thing to open this. Where's my... There it is. How much haunted bookshop? Now you're talking, Crafty Pipe, and we might be able to do something there. What is totalitarian? Did I miss something? Something's totalitarianism, but I don't know what it is, Palm. Sorry. Yeah, Tim, I don't know if we can do anything live, but I'd be happy to try out the red pill flake and give impressions of it. And the reason I say I don't know if we can do anything live is as you guys have noticed, I've been having some network problems here, and I think if I add a Zoom type thing on top of it, it's just going to break. So I've got the this tin of Cuban mixture, and by the way, these tins really do hold quite well. This is moist as can be, and this has got to be a couple years old. You put a date on this? Did I put a date on this? I should have. 1870. That's not the date. We're going to load this up in my Europe, which is actually one of the pipes my darling wife purchased for me. She bought this for me when we were in Los Angeles at Kramer's Tobacconist, just a few months before they shut down. So I was very happy I got a chance to visit there and talk to the woman whose name I can never remember, but she was a lovely woman. That's an excellent question there, Chris. So Chris has an anniversary coming up in 3 years, and he's thinking of buying a special tin of tobacco to sell her until then. Are there any recommendations? Yeah, Tim, let's chat about that. I'm sure we can work something out. All right, we got that loaded up. And the only thing you got to be careful about with these is that tobacco does sometimes get stuck in the rim. You want to get that out before you seal it back up again. Where did I put the lid? You also want to try not to lose the lid. That makes it a lot harder to seal it. There it is. And I'll tap that harder later when it's not going to hurt your ears. Now this is if you don't know Cuban mixture, it's one of these really interesting. I think this is the one that's got 13 different kinds of tobacco, and I think it's the oldest blend that Paretti makes. And everything Paretti makes has that Paretti topping on it. I have no idea what it is, but it's unique. Nothing else tastes like it, and you know it immediately if you're smoking a Paretti blend. Yeah, I don't believe there's any actual Cuban leaf in it, Paragon Piper. There might have been at one point, but, you know, for obvious reasons, they had to stop that. So I hope you're catching these suggestions, Chris. Ronnie's asking if there's any input on the Hemingway C and D blends. Honestly, Ronnie, I don't think I've had them. Furnace is going to come on. Just a warning. Tim, I'm embarrassed to say I have not finished the second book, but I will. I definitely will. It's one of those things that I think about every once in a while and think, oh, you idiot. It'll take you no time to finish that. Why haven't you? And I will. I'm sorry. So Chris, I would probably lean towards the Virginia just because they're known to age well. A couple of these are the two things that I most like that I've aged, that have surprised me with how good they've become. One doesn't really fit that category too well. It's oh, what's the blend? The Four Noggins blend that is Haunted Bookshop's little brother. Weybridge. Weybridge ages really, really well, but it's more of a Haunted Bookshop like Burley, Virginia Perique. Um, the other one that always surprises me is the Luxury Bullseye Flake, which really becomes a completely different blend after a couple of years. So those are two that I'd say. But you're getting a lot of good suggestions here. Smells like an old sock. Oh yes, Doug, that was priceless. Yeah, it does, Paragon Piper, and I'm lucky. I've got some luxury bullseye that's got to be 8 or 9 years now, and it's just sitting there because I don't smoke it very often. But when I get a jar of that out, it's a happy day. Oh, I'm sorry, that was actually Rich that was talking about the luxury bullseye. Paragon Piper saying haunted bookshop with good age on it is really excellent. It's funny. I have some aged haunted bookshop that I take out every once in a while, and honestly, I don't see much of a difference with that. But it might just be because I smoke so much of it. Uh, Luxury Twist is another good one. Crafty Piping, not one that I like as much, but it's an excellent blend. What was that again, Mike? Asked White Ash Piper. You're gonna have to give me a little more context, buddy. Po Piper. Yes, I do have a doctorate. I've got a PhD in neuroscience. Doesn't that make me sound special? It's really not that impressive. Griffin Pipes, hello. Ah, Billy Bud Blonde did well aging for Ochoita. Aged Escudo, says Cypress Piper. Yeah, that's certainly a good one. Neil Day says bacon old fashioned needs to age for 250 years. Okay, White Ash. It was Weybridge is the I really like Weybridge, and when Matches tried it, he said it was like Cornyn's Bookshop's little brother. So I always remember it that way. But Weybridge is a Four Noggins blend. It's fantastic, just right out of the pouch, but it ages really well. Maybe I'll get my student loans forgiven. Oh, I'm long past that, Cole. They've they've been paid off. Actually, I was a scholarship guy, so I got off easy. Ah, it's a good one too. Backcountry pipes. Thanksgiving Day is really worth putting away and just enjoy a little bit of it every year because it does age really well. Weybridge is indeed correct, White Ash. Andrew Sirigliano, good to see you there. Yes, Crafty, you can call me Doctor. Nobody else does, you might as well. Michael, that's one way to look at it, but I can send you some if you want to. But I don't have any aged pirate cake. Gary wants to know what happened to Sarge. Sarge is still working like 15 shifts a day. He's doing fine. Hey, there's Eric, the blue-collar pipe smoker. Eric is packing his pipe bag for the big show tomorrow. Sounds good, Eric. Oh, I know Alice's restaurant, Tim. You don't have to send that one. That was a staple on Thanksgiving. No, backcountry pipes, I did not. I mean, there was talk of having a gathering or something at one point, but I think just out of respect for the family, that kind of fell away. And I don't really know much about it, Mark. So, is this Muletown, Eric? I thought that had already happened. I'm so out of the loop right now. It's starting to play in my head right now, Tim. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Popo Piper. It was a lot of work, but honestly, it was all I did at the time. I was single, I was completely immersed in it, and I loved doing it. So to me, it was like one of the greatest times of my life, and it's where I met my wife, so that helped too. Ian Haywood, greetings and salutations to you, sir. Oh, it's the Chicago show. Okay. Well, hey, I hope all you folks that are going, enjoy it and have a great time. Crafty Piping's hoping to make it to Ohio. Absolutely. I'll be there for sure. Few days, Andrew. It takes me a few weeks. My goodness. Andrew, do they start with a rod of ebonite, or do they use a pre-molded stem when they do it in an hour? Ah, Neil Day made some haunted pirate ship. Yeah, I found, well, I didn't find, actually, Mark in Rhode Island sent me some, I forget what we called it, like haunted pirate dinghy or something, where I think it was a quarter pirate cake and the rest was haunted bookshop. And that I can smoke. I can't smoke 50-50 mix. It's too much a lot of Kia for me. Thank you, Big Dave. You know, there's not much that the theme from Gilligan's Island can't fix. I'm sorry, Andrew. Does that mean no, they are pre-molded or there are no pre-molded? Sorry, I'm being stupid, I know, but I really don't know how to interpret it. I have never had any problems with mold on C&D blends, Chris. I know other folks have. C&D's always been very good about it. If you have that happen, they replace it. Absolutely, Cypress Piper. A few months with C&D blends makes all the difference. Yeah, Neil, I think that's about the ratio that Mark did. Yeah, the other thing he sent me, which I think is fantastic, I should have taken that out tonight instead of the Cuban mixture. Um, he did the same thing, but he used GLP's Gaslight instead of the Pirate Cake, and that is really good. I think that was a 50-50 Gaslight Haunted Bookshop. That there's like a spiciness to that I really like. Oh, they are pre-molded. Okay, Andrew. That makes me feel a little bit better because for me, most of the time I have to spend is on the stem. So if they're whipping out a stummel and a stem in an hour, then they're just not human. Smooth Piper's loading up some Morley's Best in his Savinelli Oscar loose site. Enjoy that, Peter. Arlo Lightfoot in the Wreck of Alice's restaurant. Thank you, Tim. Michael, I've got some haunted bookshop in jars that's got to be close to 10 years old, so it could have molded if it wanted to. It hasn't. Oh, they pre-molded. That's a good one, Cole. Ian Haywood, new Piper, 6 weeks in. My goodness. So he tried Pirate Cake last night. He says it's interesting, and his daily smoke is. Whoop, wait a minute, I lost you. Very good. Daily smoke is Stokeby English Oriental Supreme. So you're starting off with the Englishes. You liked a lot of Kia then, huh? Good stuff. A lot of folks start that way, but you'll branch out and plenty to explore. So welcome. It's good to have you aboard. Pipe cleaning never ends, does it, Everett? Yeah, backcountry pipes. I don't know if I've ever had just straight gaslight. I have to get a tin of that and try it. Crafty Piping is revisiting English blends. He wants to know if there's any recommendations that are in nightcap or plum pudding. Oh boy, there'll be plenty, I'm sure. You can sing Amazing Grace to the theme of Gilligan's Island, says Tim. You can also sing it to the theme of the Mickey Mouse Club. Chelsea Morning, that's a good one, Chris. Quiet Nights, I'm not as familiar with. Ocho Eat is asking if there's a blend that's comparable to Cuban blend. Oh boy. Not really. It is a very unique blend. Um, and part of the uniqueness is the Paretti topping. So I don't think there's anything even close to it, Ocho Eat. And Doug Owen's got some nice suggestions for English mixtures. McConnell Scottish, Rattray's Red Rappery. It's a good one. Black Mallory. Well, Black Mallory's fantastic. I'm sorry, I'm not thinking of Black Mallory is good, but GLP's Quiet Nights. But GLP's what's the Maltese Falcon? That's a good one. And the Urban Hermit's got a whole list there for you. No, Tim, you don't spell it out. It's just the amazing grace, how sweet the sound that say direct like me. It doesn't really work to spell it out. Sorry. Does Gilligan's Island spell out? Oh, you were doing Gilligan's Island to Amazing Grace. Never mind. Ron's asking about if haunted bookshops usually on the dry side or slightly damp. Ron, for me, it's absolutely perfect when I get it. It's on the dry side, but I like my tobaccos on the dry side. Um, I never have had to hydrate it. Star of the East, that's another good suggestion there, Cypress Piper. Northwoods, good suggestion from Backcountry Pipe. That's more of a crossover from Boswell, but very tasty stuff. If you want to try a lighter English blend, there's one of the Cornell and Deals that really flies under the radar, but it's an excellent lighter in terms of a lot of Kia English called Constellation. Ah, Paragon Piper just brought up Constellation. There you go. Yeah, that's one of the blends that Craig Darlow recommended to me way back when I just wanted. I was on a number 10 Downing Street kick, and I just wanted English blends. And he talked to me for a while, and he said, "Well, I'm gonna sell you Constellation, but I want you to try these Burleys too." And boy, was he right. Never looked back. So Andrew's saying that Cuban mixture is more like an over-the-counter Burley with cigar notes. Yeah, I guess that's accurate, but it does have that topping too. I haven't really noticed much of a difference in moisture content, Cole, to be honest. But I also haven't had any mold issues. So, one of the things that I'm sorry, I will defend Cornell and Deal to the death over this mold thing because I think it's just been blown way out of proportion. And one of the things that Cornell and Deal does that nobody else does is they use distilled water and nothing else unless they're topping a blend. So their blends are not cased with vinegar or anything else to inhibit mold growth. You're getting natural tobacco from them. And to me, that's worth the risk of occasionally getting some mold. But again, I've not had it happen. Actually, Cypress Piper, the mold thing goes all the way back to their Red Virginia Flake, I think it was, or maybe just Red Virginia Ribbon. They had some special Red Virginia that they released that they had to recall, and that was a long time ago. That was probably close to 8 years ago. Magic says that Ashbury is a good one from GLPs. Haven't had that one. Pipe Smoker 795 has got some Capstan Blue. Very nice. Well, that's the thing, creator. You know, if you open a new tin and it's got a little bit of mold on it, you go, oh no, the tobacco's moldy. But if it's a 10-year-old tin, you go, oh, look at the bloom. Look at the sugar crystals. It's all mold. Don't get me wrong. I don't want my brand new tin to have mold on it, but Key Largo is a very nice one, Andrew. Yeah. Laughter 1099. Do not remember that, Magic. Just a little protein, Magic. Yeah. Yeah, the GLP's blends are amazing, Chris, and there's several of them that if they sold them in bulk, it would replace Haunted Bookshop for me. And that's how good some of them are. Not their English, but I love, and it's a Virginia blend. It's a straight Virginia blend. But why can I never remember the name of this blend? Union Square. Um, I open a tin of that and it's gone in a week. Doug, I'll send you the research that's been done on it. There's absolutely zero evidence that it's sugar. It chemically doesn't make sense that it's sugar. And every analysis that's been done indicates that it's either mold or in the case of pipe tobacco, it's often bacteria. Uh, but we can disagree. Tobacco, tobaccateria. That's right, Tim. Now we're talking about white stuff, not green. If you ever see green stuff on the tobacco, that's mold that you don't want to smoke. Um, but what people normally mistake for sugar crystals, and definitely on cigars when they say it's bloom, uh, yeah, that's not bloom. It's mold. Probiotics. There you go. Tim, I will always reference you if I use that term. I promise. Chris, you're absolutely right. You're smoking a salad. If you remember back in the day, Matches and Sarge used to talk about their vegetables. Not really, Michael. We're more of the folks that would make the drugs for something that other people would research for off-label indications. And we'll do it if there's something really obvious, like just to make something up. If we had a new drug for schizophrenia, which we don't, we would maybe consider seeing if that worked in bipolar disorder because there's a lot of similarities there. I don't want to get too far into this, but so that kind of off-label stuff, and certainly not off-label, but you know, we'd seek approval for that. But we don't like pick up old drugs and try to figure out if they're good for new things. That's other guys do that. Ah, Sir Zenith, you like the Union Square then? I've never had it around long enough to know if it changes in 8 months' time. It does not last very long. All right, Cypress Piper, thanks for joining us, buddy. You have a great weekend too. Yeah, Doug, and of course nothing's 100%. So, you know, we're taking two opposite ends of the spectrum here, but there's probably a middle ground. I'll send you I wrote a blog post on this and it's got some links in it to some work that had been done. I'll send that to you. Magic wants to know if I would give up McClellan and bring back McClellan and give up GLPs for a trade. Magic, I wouldn't bring back McClellan for anything. I did not like McClellan. Other people will yell at me for that, but it just never appealed to me. I mean, they had some okay tobaccos, and a couple of them I liked, but it wasn't a great loss to me. Other folks, I know they would give up anything to get McClellan back, and I feel for them. John Amadon checking out. Well, good night, John. You take care, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Tim, that's a wise tin of pipe tobacco you got there. I would smoke it in small amounts. Ah, Popo, you don't want to get into that. It's boring. All you guys are making me sound especially critical and snarky tonight. Pipe Smoker 795 wants to know if I smoked Frogmorton. I have. It's okay. Um, it's just not my thing. You know, if I really liked that kind of blend, I would probably think it was great, but it's not my kind of blend. Hey, Armchair Piper, how you doing, Ed? Good to see you, buddy. I'm not really a lot of Kia guy, and I'm not really a McClellan guy, so. But I can't say there was anything wrong with it. That's okay, Doug. As long as you don't keep trying to spell it, that means something. Tim has been published twice, and I've read 1.5 of those. Typically, dissertations stay with the university creator, but usually they're, well, it depends on the field, I guess, but usually they're published. In the sciences, they do get published as independent research articles. Patrick thought the Frogmortons were amazing. That Country Pipe says Timber Drifter was a huge Bombay Court fan. I don't think I ever had Bombay Court. Urban Hermit says Burley's the best. Is my mixture 965 worth the hype? Alec, I'm not the guy to answer that one. Is anything worth the hype, honestly? Oh, this is just getting down to the bottom. One thing about this Cuban mixture is you can smoke it all the way down. It's really nice to the bottom of the bowl. So Tim says Bianchi albums are worth the hype, and Crafty Piping says Cobbs are worth the hype. I guess some things are worth the hype then. Creator just got a tub of Carter Hall. Good stuff. I've obviously been through a few of those myself. Furnace, sorry. So Doug says 965 is unbeatable in terms of Scottish style mixtures. And I've heard a lot of people really do say that, Doug. And again, I'm just not the right person to ask about it. Magic wants to know what happened to Solani H. Burley Flake. I don't know. It does seem to have just dropped away. Chris, not everybody's a Burley guy or everybody a Virginia guy. You know, you got to find what you like. And the interesting thing is it changes. You know, I was once, I never thought I'd smoke anything but an English blend. Heck, I once smoked nothing but Captain Black White Pouch. You know, you change. And you might find yourself 5 years from now craving Burley like Everett. That's impressive. That's impressive, Urban Hermit. I thought the Cobbs only lasted a couple of weeks in your hands. I Hate Roger Godell is worth the hype. You're right, Tim. Okay, I stand corrected. There are several things worth the hype. I Hate Roger Godell, Cobbs, and that other thing I can't remember from earlier. Mushroom Leg, you are not drinking a Zima. You're not doing that. I don't believe you. You don't like Catarini. That's interesting, Crafty Piping. It's a unique condimental tobacco for sure. I like it, but that is interesting. Michael's always been an English guy. Well, maybe I'll always be a Burley guy then, Michael. Maybe I've found my terminal state here. A 20-year-old Zima. Oh, yeah, it would have to be, wouldn't it, Tim? Wow, Doug, a 35-cent pouch of Borkum Riff. Unbelievable. I had a good friend, my first pipe smoking friend, actually, who started smoking Borkum Riff, and I was smoking Captain Black, and I met him years later. And, you know, I had my tobacco pouch with some Haunted Bookshop in it, and he pulled out a pouch of Borkum Riff. He just never tried anything else, and he was happy with that. I got to admire that kind of commitment. And Neil Day is on Old Dark Fired now. It's another one that folks tend to gravitate to and sometimes stick with it and sometimes don't. I guess that's true of all things, though, Neil. You know, all tobaccos. Boy, the furnace is really active tonight. I bet my wife still has the back door open. It is springish. The flavors marry. Zimas get better with age, says Poem. Why would anyone want to make Zima at home? To be fair, I think I drank exactly one Zima and couldn't understand why anybody would drink it. I remember we had a couple of tasting shows, Tim. Was one of them Rustica? Oh yeah, because we were wondering who was going to turn green or something like that. I do remember that. Does Age Zima have plume? We haven't heard from Mushroom Leg since he said he was drinking a Zima. Maybe it got him. Well, I am done with the Cuban mixture. We still got a little bit of beer to go here, so we're at time, but we'll go a few minutes later. Did I just say I'm done? I hope I said I'm done with the Cuban mixture. I just got this horrible feeling that I might have said I'm done with the Zima. Ah, yes, we were betting if you would get sick. I remember it now, Tim. Yes. Zima was made by Coors. Huh. Ron has got some Rougarou and a Caminetto Business KS120. Cool. Was there a Rougarou? Did that come out recently? Because a lot of folks have been mentioning it tonight, or the past couple weeks, actually. That is good stuff. Somebody sent me a sample of it. Actually, my buddy Jim from Premium Polished Pipes sent me some, and I really enjoyed that. "24-hour live show party." Not likely unless you want to watch me sleep, Magic. Is April 1st when Rougarou comes out? Creator. Drinking Zima while doing Zumba. Michael, please get that on video. So Andrew's moving on to Dunhill Yield sign in the Phil Rivera pot. Nice. I didn't see Phil tonight. I hope he's doing well. And I am a little concerned that Mushroom Leg disappeared after he mentioned the Zima. Yeah, there is one way to get Mushroom Leg to come out of the woodwork. There's Phil Rivera. Hello, Phil. We were missing you, buddy. Tim wants to pair his Captain Black grape with Zima. Okay. All right, Crafty Pipin', thanks for joining us, buddy. And we are actually going to, now that Phil's here, we can end this. Yeah, Phil just shows up when you say his name. That's right. Somebody mentioned they were smoking one of your pipes, Phil, and I said, we haven't seen you tonight. I hope you're well, and you immediately popped up. Amazing. Kind of like, does anybody remember Kibo? James Kibo Perry? Probably not. You'd have to be old and geeky like me. Oh, that stinks, Phil. I hope you got it worked out. Alec, thank you for joining us, buddy. I hope you come back next week. We do this every Friday. It was great having you. Well, folks, I'm going to finish this up, and we're going to call this to an end. Oh, Phil, I'm glad to hear it wasn't a DVT. That was a little worrisome because it was exactly where a DVT would be. If you ever get a swelling above your knee, and especially within the back of your leg, guys, don't mess around with that. It can be quite dangerous. All right, folks, I am going to draw this to a close because I need to go and sleep. So thank you for joining me tonight. I really had a great time. It was a lot of fun chatting with you all. I'll be back on Sunday with a video of some sort. We'll talk about something. And actually, you know what I'm going to do on Sunday? I'm gonna fire up that pipe number 3 for the first time. We'll give that a try, see how it smokes. So that'll be something to look forward to. At least I'll look forward to it. So I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, guys. Thanks again for joining me. The highlight of my week, as always. So take care, all, and we'll see you back here next week. And he still doesn't know how to stop the live stream.